is AI now a job stealer or a job enabler? And will I need to be much more on my feet because of what is happening to my career? Because, uh, you had a 30-year career or 35-year career, 40-year career, but nowadays people are on LinkedIn, you can see well into late 60s and even 70s working in good health and either wanting to do something, out of a hobby or a need or whatever, right? So I'm saying there's a 50-year runway for this generation, right? And technology has eased so much of what it is. So for their careers, do you sense that becomes that much more harder for them as you kind of look at the runway? And what's your take on that?
Oh, well, that's great. It's a great question. I have told people for years, and this is it's not just about Gen Zers, I mean, across the board. Don't raise your children with the question, "What do you want to be?" Don't ask them that question. It's a dumb question. Ask them, "What talents do you want to use? What are your talents and what do you want to use?" It used to be, years ago, people would stay in jobs for 30 years and 35 years, as you so pointed out. And when you move from one company to another after a couple of 3 years, you were called a job hopper. I'm sure you remember that. "Oh,
Yes.
this person's a hopper." They're just here to. Now, if you don't hop more often, they don't consider you have the right kinds of diverse experiences, if you will, to help the company. So here's my take. I think the best you can hang on to somebody now today is 5 years. If you've got them for 5 years, I had a guest on the other day who said, we worked at 2 years. If we had this person for 2 years, we were great.
Yeah.
I said, wow, that's amazing. He said, but we organized the company in such a way to do that so that we immediately made them a part of the organization and part of the decision-making group. He said, "But if they left us in 2 years, we did okay." But I think 5 years is kind of the average. If you've got somebody for 5, 6, or 7 years, you're doing well. But they will move,
Yeah.
and they'll go someplace else because, I can remember years ago, I worked in a company that developed software, and we had great engineers, wonderful engineers. But the engineers, after 5 or 6 years, would leave the company, and they'd go someplace else, and we'd ask them, "Why are you leaving?" They said, "Well, because we're still using the same technology we used 5 or 6 years ago. If I don't move, I can't keep abreast with the new technology, so I have to look for a software company that's using new programming languages, for example. So I have to jump over there because I can't technologically stay abreast with my contemporaries if I don't do that." And I think there may be some sensibility about that with the Gen Zers and with every Gen X or whatever. I have to move because I'm not staying up with what's happening now.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how AI affects that, in terms of as the new tools are coming on, and I think they'll reach a point. I think this may be an interesting aspect because 'cause I've been thinking a lot about this,
Yeah.
where we may get to a point, and it's happened in other technologies, where we become saturated with AI, and we're looking for the human perspective again. So, I mean, and it's happening fast. Right now, I'm not so sure we're being saturated, but we're moving so quickly and so many tools are being developed by so many countries that I think we will eventually reach a point of saturation. I mean, think about it this way. How many times do you wish when you get on a phone and you get the automated answering system, you wish there was a human being on the other side of that line, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just incredible.